Sorry, I'm gonna miss you tomorrow. Here's a little short sequence that you can do along with the video. Sit how you're comfortable. Take the seat that allows you to have upright hips so that your spine is upright and it's not too much work. The eyes open or close. Begin to move the spine into flexion and extension, starting with your exhale. Move into flexion of the spine, so that's head down and back is somewhat rounded. Take your inhalation and come into extension. This can be done in big or small ways, whatever feels right for you today. Continue to set up a rhythm in your breath and move your spine with the rhythm of the breath. From your final extension, come back to neutral and side bend to the right, leaning onto the right hand. Stretch the left arm up and over. Push your left hip into the ground for deeper stretching. Inhale, come up and stretch over to the left side. Push your right hip into the floor for a deeper stretch. With your breath, coordinate the movement with breathing, exhaling again to the right. Inhaling to come up and exhaling to the left. Any arm position or head position that feels good for your neck. Do a little shoulder circle. Leave the shoulders back and down. Take the left hand on the right knee or somewhere along the leg. Rest on the right hand. Use your arm strength to pull you into rotation to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale rotation to the left. Inhale back to center, rotation to the right. Inhale back to center, rotation to the left. Inhale back to center, roll over your legs or take them to the side so that you can set yourself up in a child's pose. Take somewhere between 2 and 5 breaths in your child's pose, using any variation of child's pose that works best for you. I'm going to do tricep arms, so turning the palms to the sky. Resting hands on the shoulders. Listening to the breath, feeling the movement, the energy, the flow of breathing. Eventually set up for tabletop position. From tabletop position, set it up so that it feels like you have support for your hips, support for the shoulders. Take an inhale, extend the front body. So lift the head and the tailbone. Take an exhale and extend the back body, but it's called flexion. So rounding the spine up towards the sky. Come back to center and reach your right arm forward. Pinky finger to the floor and reach your left arm, leg back so it's straight. You can't really see this very well in the video. And then begin to lift the hand and the leg up at the same time. So you're extending the right arm and the left leg away from each other. Tap to the floor or tap underneath. Extend away, tap underneath, extend away, tap underneath or to the floor and extend away and come to tabletop position. Set your tabletop with a firm core. Reach your left hand forward, pinky edge to the floor. Reach your right leg back, big toe to the floor. Straighten and lift your arm and your leg away from each other and either tap to the floor and lift or tap your hand or your elbow underneath and extend away. Exhale underneath. Inhale, extend away. Exhale underneath. Inhale, extend away. Exhale underneath. Inhale, extend away. And back to tabletop position. From your tabletop position, we're going to do a little tabletop hover here. So you're going to make sure you have a neutral spine, not a extended spine. So just a neutral spine, engage the core, push down into the arms, and just try to hover. I lifted the knees maybe 1 inch off the floor. I'm keeping the head, crown of the head reaching forward. I'm keeping the sits bones stabilizing back right over the knees. Just a little hover here for another breath. And then I'm going to extend the legs back towards the wall behind. And I'm in a downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time. Little organic movement in the hips. Bend both knees. And actually, let's come back to tabletop position. From tabletop position, arrange a plank or a half plank. So a regular plank like a push-up or a half plank on the knees. Take a full inhalation. Take your exhalation down onto the floor. Once you get down, rest your head on your hand. Reach back, hold on to your right foot. Give yourself a quadricep moment for a few breaths on the right. Any variations that you like to do with this. Next few breaths, switch your sides, reach for the foot. Head could be up, right leg could be up. Anything that you usually do for this quadricep stretch. Eventually letting the legs to the floor. You could come up onto the forearms for an extension stretch, or off the forearms and just on the hands to a Sphinx stretch or a cobra stretch, keeping the hips on the floor, or an upward facing dog here. The hips are off the floor. Any extension that you like to do, or extensions, you can string them together. Exhale back into your child's pose, the child's pose that feels most comfortable for you at this time. And set your forearms up for your plank pose. So when you get into your plank pose, you'll be on your forearms however they're most comfortable. You can also be on the knees, or you can tuck the toes under, and you're in a full plank. Try not to sag the hips to the floor, so keep them elevated. Engage the core to the spine. Reach out through the crown of the head. Bend the right knee and straighten it. Bend the left knee and straighten it. Right and straighten, left and straighten. Right and straighten, left and straighten. Hold your plank. If you have a little bit more room to add some more variations here, move your right hand to the left and back. Left hand to the right and back. Repeat, moving your hands in towards the center line until you need a rest. When you need a rest, come down, come into extension, whichever extension's working best for you. Come back into your child's pose. Take a few breaths in your child's pose. Roll over your feet or take them around the side and come to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees are open to the side. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Lean forward. As you lean forward, decide how you want to spend your time here. Either head up, heart shining forward, or head down. Softening the heart, spreading the shoulder blades away from the spine, and allowing the head to hang heavy. Noticing breathing. If plank was challenging, slow down the breath. Get back into a really steady, continuous flow of breathing. Eventually, round yourself up, scoot yourself forward so you can lie down on your back And come to hip lifts. So keeping the feet on the floor, press the low back on the floor. I'm kind of wearing skirt pants, if you were wondering. Lift the hips up and exhale, lower down. Lift the hips up and either hold here, and you could also put a block underneath your hips. I'm going to keep this more active because we're doing a short practice. Lift and lower. I usually do about 10. Move the spine up and down with the breath that makes sense for you so you have the support of breathing. When you're ready to come all the way down, take your ankle to your knee. Decide if you want to increase the stretch by bringing both legs up towards you, using your arms or not using your arms, extending your lower leg or not extending your lower leg, finding a little ankle mobility or not, and switching sides when you're ready. Any of the variations that seem to work, try those out. Stay in your smooth, calm breath. Transition either to windshield wipers off the feet, knees together, for a continued core, hello to your core, or come to regular windshield wipers with your feet about mat distance apart. Go side to side with the legs. Begin to invite in the sensation of feeling more settled, even taking a few extra breaths on one side. Feeling the back body in connection with the floor. Notice when your body wants you to switch, go ahead and switch your sides. Again, inviting in the sensation of settling down, of letting go of effort, and moving towards letting go of effort in breathing as well. If there's another stretch that you like to do, a twist, or if you just want to continue on from here. And you could do some seated stretches, or if you are ready to settle down, you could just add in any comforting stretch that you like to do before your final resting. Rest for long enough to feel that your body really empties of all work, of all effort, of all intention. Allow yourself just to be held by the floor. If you find yourself getting lost in thought, notice the pressure of your body against the floor and feel that support, and notice the calm, unobstructed, easeful breath, your natural breathing. Try to rest for about 5 minutes until your heart rate gets back to resting rate, until your breathing restores to your breath of ease. And hopefully that got you started with a little bit of yoga movement today. See you next week.